Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ask the Pastors. Howdy, Mark.
Howdy do.
Right on in the nick of time, right?
Yep, just made it.
Well, it's a beautiful morning today.
Mhm.
It's going to get warm and, well, at least winter warm, right?
Yeah, yeah. Gonna get kinda toasty out there today.
Yeah. Always funny how your perspective on temperatures influences it. When it's like 40 degrees coming out of summer, it's time to throw on all the clothes that you have and try to stay warm. But when it gets up to 40 or 50 coming out of winter, you're like, hey, put the shorts on. We're
Yeah,
ready to go.
I know. It's all what you're used to.
It's true. Well, and 40 or 50 is a summer day in Minnesota where you come from, right?
I was gonna say, I think that's pretty accurate, but at least it's not North Dakota.
That's
I
true.
think my dad said that, he grew up there. I think he said he had seen it snow, like, every month of the year or something.
Yikes.
I mean, it would do it in sometimes some months in the maybe not every month, but, like, maybe, like, in June or something, because I
Yeah.
don't know if it ever did, like, in July or August, but I think it was I think it's sometimes they'll get a little bit of snow in June. It doesn't amount to anything, but
Yeah. I'd believe that. Yeah, I don't know if I'd like living in a place where it could snow every month out of the year.
yeah. Of course, then in the summer, though, um, it's light out until about midnight or
Yeah,
close to it,
it's
so
true. You get lots of light. I was noticing that last night. We got done with supper. I spun out again. um, we got done with dinner. We were sitting in the living room, and it was like 20 after 6, and there was still some light coming in the window.
Yep.
I thought, "This is good.
We're
We're on our
heading
way."
Yes. Yeah, it's interesting because yeah, now the days are getting longer, the lengthen, um, where we get, Lent from,
Mm,
and, spring, is, connected to that word, the lengthening of days, sprungen or something. I don't know, I looked it up once, and I can't remember how it all works, but it's the lengthening of days.
well, good. People are gonna learn something from joining us today, at
Uh,
least.
well,
Can
maybe
learn about
not,
the lengthening of days.
yes.
As you notice, Pastor Cowell is not with us this morning, and unfortunately, we have to share that we're not doing a full episode of Ask the Pastors this morning. Although we should say hi to Joe Sentgraf and Lucille Waterman and Marilyn Simpson, who've commented that they're joining us, and there are a few other people I can tell as well that are here, but who have not commented. We are not going to be doing a full episode because we actually got a conflict that we can't rearrange. Pastor Cowell and I are both actually up this morning to get our second COVID shots. His is here at 10:15 and mine's at 10:30, and so we can't be here for the full time because we have to cut out early already due to our Lent service. But we did want to get on just to tell you that, so that you didn't think that we had forgotten or that you were having technical difficulties of some variety. So we thought we'd at least get on and share why we won't be here all morning like we normally are. But we're excited for that. We both got our first shots back in January. This will be the second one, and we'll be done. The state of Iowa included pastors with I don't know, funeral directors too, and a few other people kind of in the first round of vaccine options, and contacted us and let us know that we could do that, and we're thankful for that, so that we hopefully will be able to continue getting into the nursing homes and hospitals and things, and seeing people. So
Mhm.
yeah, so that's the story, and so Pastor London and I at least thought we'd get on and let you know that we're not going to be here this whole time. So,
Yep, that is correct.
and Pastor London didn't want to take the whole show by himself today, so
Mm-mm.
um,
No thanks.
you could do it. I'm sure
Um,
you could answer the questions.
well, I don't know. I could answer them maybe, but I may not be able to give any correct answers necessarily.
Oh yeah.
So
Well, that's all right. We do our best, right?
that's right.
Marilyn Simpson says she gets her second shot next week. Awesome. This is a really exciting time, I think, both in the development of this vaccine, but also now the ability to get it into people, and hopefully that being another tool to help us get back to more of a normal sense of life where we'll be able to interact in person rather than relying so much on technology for interaction. And it seems to be going well. I know here in Kasuth County, I was thinking about, we got about 15,000 people in the county, and I think they're giving about 600, at least 600 shots a week, it sounds like. So at least for us in our county, it'll be not fast, but quicker than some places, I think, to be able to vaccinate as many people who want to be vaccinated. And
hmm
sounds like we might have enough for everybody by the beginning of the summer. So that's good news. So, like we said, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to stick with you all morning to answer questions because they assigned us our times. We didn't get to pick. So we've got to go and do that. But anyway, you got two options to join us for Lent today, 11 o'clock and 6 o'clock. No registration required. Mark, you want to give them a preview of the theme for the day?
It's on betrayal. So it's a return. So of course our theme overall is return to the Lord your God, from Joel. And so last week it was return from denial, or no, return to prayer. Return to prayer. I thought of denial just because I did spend some time talking about Peter's denial.
Right.
But now it's return from betrayal. And of course, Judas is pretty central in that because he was the betrayer.
Right.
And so, yeah, it'll be, I just kind of finished up on the sermon. And so we'll be looking at that. And there's a lot to, there's really a lot that you could look at. And it's kind of interesting looking at studying Judas and everywhere that he's mentioned and what he did and asking questions of why he did it and so on. Because, for example, one thing I didn't think of, and I didn't really have time to put it in the sermon, but after Judas had already betrayed Jesus, that word betray means handed over. So he had made the exchange with the chief priest for the money. John has Judas in the upper room. And well, he's in the upper room in the other gospels too, but then in John, you have the foot washing. So got to thinking about Jesus was washing the feet of Judas and serving him, and that didn't have any effect on him to
Yeah.
change him. And there's something there too. If we had more time, it would have been interesting to compare him with Peter, because with Judas there's like a lot of premeditation, and also he has this time where he could have gone back, whereas with Peter it's kind of like he's just on the spot, and denies that he knows Jesus because he's just freaking out, But with Judas, there's this premeditation, and then he also has ample opportunity to change it and change his mind. He could have, been like, well, if he really decided he didn't want to go through with it, he could have been like, well, let's go to a different place,
Yeah.
or whatever. And then,
Hey, Jesus, don't go to the Garden of Gethsemane tonight.
yeah. And he takes him out there and he's like, oh, well, I guess I was wrong.
Guess they're
Thought
not
they'd be
coming here.
thought they would be here. Well,
Right.
oh well. But yeah, it's just, and then there's other things with that, in that Satan enters Judas, and what is that all about? And I think, I think it's pretty clear that Judas was possessed by the devil because he invited it. Um, in he had made himself open to it, I guess you would say, which could be a comforting thing for Christians to know, that we don't have to worry that, like, just somehow we're just gonna get possessed by the devil. Um, it I think Scripture is pretty clear that that happens when a person, you have to open yourself up to it,
Yeah.
in some way, and I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a good
So
point.
yeah.
And I'm sure that we've all experienced betrayal in some ways in our lives too, which I think kind of goes along with this too. That Jesus,
Hmm.
um, I think that the foot washing is such a good example, or the Last Supper that Jesus, um, has included Judas all the way through. He's loved him even though he knows what's coming. He predicts it and um, knows that there is betrayal, and yet still has that love. So we won't give away any more of it. You can join us at 11 o'clock or at 6 o'clock in person, no registration required, or on the live stream at 6 o'clock, where you can hear Pastor Lund share more of these thoughts about Jesus's betrayal. And if you're just joining us late, we're not doing the full version of Ask the Pastors today because we actually have to get off right now. Pastor Cowell and I are both getting our second COVID shots this morning. He's up here in about 3 minutes, I think, and I'm in about 15. That's that. So thanks for hopping on with us. We should be back to normal next week, I hope, and being able to answer your questions. So as always, you can go to trinityalgona.org/askthepastors to submit your question ahead of time, or just join us live and put your question in the comment section. But God bless your day. Hopefully we'll see you all here soon.